Hey everyone, it's Kayla here. Happy sunny Sunday. Today is fabulously warm out. I'm sitting here beside an open window and I have a tank top on and I'm comfortable. This is just such a treat because it has been it wasn't a really intense winter, it wasn't a really cold winter, but it was a winter that kind of dragged on. I think we had, yeah, up until a week ago, we still had snow. So now it's got to be 15, 20 degrees outside, Celsius, not Fahrenheit. I don't know what that translates into in Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's wonderful. I taught all morning and drove around with my windows open and my sunglasses on and my hand out the window, and it's one of those things that I look forward to all winter long, is being able to just open the windows and have fresh air while I'm driving. So anyway, what brings me here? First of all, I want to say I'm so sorry for the crappy audio on my last video when I was talking about gluten. I think I tested my audio properly, like I did a little, testing, and I listened back to it. But then there was a woman sitting right across from me when I was drinking my tea and making my video, and I got a little self-conscious and awkward, and I think I maybe turned the volume down. So anyway, I hope you were able to hear, because I don't want to be too repetitive in this video, but I want to dig a little deeper into the whole gluten topic, because it is it's a really significant part and reason why I have found myself to the whole food, plant-based, high-carb, vegan, raw till 4, starch solution, whatever you want to call it. Every day I follow something slightly different, but the main thing with how I eat is I eat primarily whole foods. I cook everything from scratch at home, except for the 1% of the time I buy something packaged, but I try to ensure that it is all whole food containing. I don't use oils in the food I cook. The only time oil slips in is if I'm out at a restaurant or if it happens to be in a packaged food that I have purchased, and I try to keep the fats really low. So as a quick little background, I'm going to try to make this video as quick as possible. But when about 10 years ago, I first went gluten-free, and it was around the same time that I found raw foods and veganism and that type of thing. No, probably 12 years ago. It's been a long time. Early 20s is when I first discovered it. I was really drawn to raw foods at first because it naturally removed a lot of the foods that I was trying to avoid. At that time, I was trying to avoid all major allergens, so not just animal products and gluten, but also soy, corn, all of these other things that I have since, in very small amounts, reintroduced into my diet, and I try to make sure that they are non-GMO when I do have them. So raw foods I naturally gravitated to because I didn't have to modify any recipes. But at that point in time, it was all a lot of gourmet, high-fat, raw, a lot of nuts mixed with fruit, a lot of bad food combining, a lot of upset stomachs, a lot of headaches, a lot of undercarbing. And I didn't thrive on it. The most I ever did was maybe 5 weeks. I felt good, but there was a lot missing. There was a lot of missing information for me. And this is where kind of the high-carb vegan and the issues with gluten for me specifically tie together. And it wasn't until it was the spring of 2013 when I first found out that people were consuming this mostly raw, high carb. It was around when I found 80-10-10. It was around when the first time in my life, considered lowering the fats and eliminating the oils from my diet. And after so much searching, I tried this for a couple days, and it was life-changing for me. And for me, yeah, I had inflammation. I had a really bloated belly, but the worst part of all of it over the years was the mental aspect, was the lack of mental clarity, was the difficulty in thinking and articulating. I had a hard time learning information in a school setting. I've always been like, I'm pretty good at, if it's something I'm really interested in, I'll find a way to make it work. But in a school education setting where there's mandatory reading, I had a really hard time focusing. And I also had significant drops in my mood. A lot of the time fell into depression. And when I first cut out the oils, it was like it had taken what I experienced when I first went gluten-free, and it took the experience tenfold to this new level, and that was amazing for me. I had done quite a bit of work just being gluten dairy free off of most animal products. At that point in time, I was still having stuff on occasion, but the gluten did a huge part. But then getting enough carbs in from other foods, it just, and keeping the fats low. So I was able to actually utilize the carbs. So my brains were actually, brains, the left brains and the right brains, everything was able to function. All my cells were getting energy. There was no shortage of energy, so that my body had to decide, okay, what's most important right now? Okay, we'll leave the mood, let the mood drop because we have to digest, we have to do this, we have to do that. We've got other priorities. And I think it was about 1.5 or 2 years ago was the first time I really experienced being fully carbed. Being at the Woodstock Fruit Festival was awesome because it was all raw and it was a lot of carbs. But monitoring my calorie and carb intake and keeping myself to around an 80-10-10 ratio of keeping 80% of my calories coming from carbohydrates and hitting around a 3,000 calorie mark, I just feel like this amazingly wonderful human being. And that's just kind of been my experience. So for me, I can't do 3,000 calories a day being a high carb vegan and not watching the gluten. I have to watch the gluten. And so I'm getting in a lot of rice and potatoes and sweet potatoes, and I'm doing a lot of beans right now. I've got a lot of chickpeas and black beans and that type of thing. And when and bananas and dates and mangoes, because I love me some maltofu mangoes. If I could afford to eat just El Tofu mangoes all day, I would. Excuse me, my throat is dry. I think I've been talking too much. Anyway, I just wanted to give a little bit more background on my experience with gluten intolerance / allergy, and why this lifestyle, following a high carb vegan lifestyle, eating mostly plant-based foods, whole foods, not parts of foods, not fiber here and oil there, eating the whole food the way it comes out of the ground, as unadulterated as possible. It's changed my life. And I mean, if you can't keep your mood elevated, it's a tough run. It's hard to keep on going. I know what it's like. I've been there. This video has gone on a really long time. Thank you so much for watching. I do want to dig more into this. This is the essence of why I'm here. If you lasted this long, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to learn more, if it's your first time here, please click the subscribe button. And I will see you guys very soon. I'm trying to post every other day right now. And I'll share more of my healing and fitness journey. Have a wonderful week, guys, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.